cooking today, Mazzy's Meals on Wheels. Right, now the plan was to do a stew in dumplings. It's a Sunday today. I only went out today to get the ingredients, and things are going wrong quite drastically. So I'm not sure if this is even going to work. Let me explain what's going on. For one, I was relying on the local butcher in town. It's closed. So, and I didn't want like just that lean diced stuff you get from a little Tesco shop. I didn't want that. I wanted some good meat. All I could pick up then, Scottish rump, right? So that's where I've gone wrong already, but it might work. So that's not a total disaster yet. Secondly, I knew I didn't have a proper size Pyrex dish, so we looked at them in town today. $22.99 just for, and I've had these all my life, and I've thrown them away and never thought anything of it. 22 quid or 22.99. Dan wasn't prepared to pay for it, so I've got to go without. All I've got is this. This is my salad bowl. It's a bit dirty. It's been in the drawer. It's too shallow. By the time I get the 2 beefs in there, potatoes, carrot, and all the rest of it, it's going to be like this. So that's not working. All I've got left now is a choice of my largest saucepan, which needs a good wash as well. It's all metal handles. Everything's metal on it, the join on it and everything. So I'm wondering if I can make a stew in a saucepan and pop it in the oven. Well, I've got no other choice. That's the way it's going to go, okay? So we've been out all the morning, been to museums, etc. We've just come home literally about 5 minutes ago, and it's gone 2:30. We're actually doing a live at 4, and we wanted this meal to be ready for after the live. It's going to take 2 hours cooking in the saucepan in the oven, and then all the prep. So I've got to hurry on with this. Let's crack on. First things first, get the oven on. I want to get this preheated. Got to figure out which shelf, where I need to put. Oh, okay. So I'm probably not going to need a shelf at all. Sorry, a little bit on the wonk. Right, I need to brown the beef. Chop it up first, actually. See, I'm panicking now, ain't I? Use scissors for this, a lot easier. Now, I'm not following no recipe, I never do. I'm just doing my own thing. Right, I'm going to cut the worst of the rind off, the fat. I don't know why, I just fancied like a proper homemade cooked meal today. I've been living on wraps. I do like me wraps, that's why I'm eating them. Just warming the oil up, get to a slight temperature. I have no idea if this is going to work as yet, especially in the saucepan. Never done that before. But it is what it is. You have to make do. And there's no rules to motorhome cooking, or any kind of cooking, is there? Just go with it. The kind of beef I was after was like a bit of chuck. sort of meat today. A bit marbly effect, and it would have gone lovely and tender. Right, I think I'm nearly there. Let's dump all this into here and wash my hands. So all I'm doing with this is just searing it on the outside. So I'm going to blare that up a little bit and quickly wash my hands. Let's get rid of this first. Oh gosh. Wooden spoon. Like I said, I just want to sear the outside. Turn the heat up a tiny bit more. Right, while that's searing, I'll go and get some veg. And an onion. Feel a bit rushed off my feet. It's coming along a bit more. Right, that'll do for a minute. I'm going to turn that right down just to buy me some time. I'm all over the place. Let's drain that liquid off. Right, in that flour, just a handful of flour. Turn the heat up slightly. Right, just cook the flour off for a minute, and then I'm going to chuck the onion in. Onions and mushrooms. Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm even going to get a potato in there, am I? Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to get a potato in there. What I'm deciding I might have to do is a pan of roasties on the side. Add a bit of hot water to save it from burning at the bottom for a minute. I don't even have a mixing jug, so at this point I'm just going to be using a John Smith's glass, funny enough. Just to, I've got this beef casserole, I bought it the other day. Probably not going to be any good, but we'll give it a go. Oh well, I'm not sure if I like the smell of that actually. Yeah, we'll give it a go. Where's my little whisk? I do have a little whisk though. Cold water. I'm getting the feeling it doesn't smell very beefy. you know, I'm not sure if this is the kind of flavour I want in it. I'm going to put the 2 sachets in that. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the flavour I want, but let's go with it. Like I said, I'm making this up, okay? I have made beef stews in the past, but I've had proper fiends, you know? So at this point, I'm not that keen on that smell. So what I've made up is just a tiny bit of gravy and add that to that. Yeah, it's looking better.
Don't mind me.
We won't. Right, at this point, I'm going to stick it in the oven. I'm not going to put the saucepan lid on it, of course. I'm going to just put a bit of foil on it. This could be a complete disaster, but it could be really nice as well. So let me just show you how it's going so far. There you go. And let's get this in the oven. Right, there we go, it's preheated, nice and hot. Now I have got an awkward oven, so I'm going to have to hold it like that. Ow! Oh, why did I do that? It's because it's heavy. Oh, I think I'm going to have to put it on a tray. Right, let's get this in the oven. I've got to time it. Right, oh, it's 3 o'clock, so it's not going to be ready till 5 now. Well, dead on after the live. We'll see how it goes, but I've got to get my roast potatoes ready. There's no way I'm going to squeeze a potato in that pot, as well as dumplings. Oh, you know what I forgot? I've got this tiny bottle of wine. I'm not drinking, and actually 17 days today I've not had a drink, and the alcohol will be evaporated of it. I forgot to put this into the stew. Oh, I'm going to have to drag it out again now, ain't I? Let's do this. I bought it especially for it. Right, open this. It's just a cheap bottle from Tesco's. I think it might make it taste rich. Ow! Oh, I knew I'd do it. That's hot already, that handle. I knew I would do it. I knew I'd forget myself. I'm smelling it to see if it might need a bit more. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I've only actually used a tiny little drop. It's only to there at the neck. Let's do a little bit more. And I think that's it. So that's all I've used of the wine. It's only a tiny bottle. Thickening up already. Right, hold the handle this time, Maz. With a tea towel. Concern because I don't know now where to put the roasties. This is turning out awkward, isn't it? And I know you wouldn't usually have roasties with a beef stew, but I can't, got no option. If I show you what I mean, it's not on a shelf, if you see what I mean. The only way to do my roasties now is actually on the tray that the saucepan's sitting on. There's no rules in motorhome cooking. Mazzy just gets on with it. We'll do that. Let me clear up first. Look at the mess. Ah. I've literally been rushing around since I got in. To the point I've not actually drunk me coffee yet, because this does need preparing. So another saucepan. I'm going to prepare the roast potatoes. Just told Dan we've got roast potatoes. I said I know it's a bit strange. But it'll be alright. Right, let's start peeling some potatoes. Roasted potatoes, they're the only ones I actually would swear by. These make great homemade chips and fantastic mash and absolutely lovely roast potatoes. Matter of fact, we bought a bag of whites the other day. Oh no, they were reds, sorry, but they weren't roosters. I couldn't get roosters. They were just reds from, I think, Tesco's or somewhere. Just to make some homemade chips one night. Hard as anything. Absolutely hard as anything. They were absolutely rubbish. Couldn't get on with them, so we had to throw them away. Actually, we didn't have chips that night for dinner. And I know, say pre-boil them. I know that's the way of doing it, but you don't have to with an air fryer. With an air fryer with, let's say, the roosters, you can just put them in. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I haven't stopped. We've got a guest here at the moment, so Dan's out chatting to him. Ivor. I'm not going to do too many roasties, although they are the kind of thing that people will pick at later on in the day or in the evening, you know. So I don't know. I'll see how I get on. And what I'll do with these, give that an hour in there. So that needs 2 hours. Give it the first hour and then chuck on in the roasties. I'm going to parboil these for 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And then do what I need to do to and chuck them in. It's funny, I do actually have a story about a tray full of roast potatoes. I don't know if I can remember it right, but I'll try and tell the story. I was probably about 16, 17. I used to work hard, and but I used to go to the pub a lot. And I remember one particular day, I think I was visiting my dad or something, or I was going to stay his for the night, or did I live there? I can't remember. But anyway, I remember getting to my dad's anyway, sort of in the evening, early evening. Been to the grapes all day. Oh, it didn't land on the floor. Landed on the water bottle. Yeah, and he'd had a Sunday roast that day. He had a full tray, near enough a full tray roasties left over. Anyway, you know what it's like when you get have a drink. You get the munchies on, don't you? Anyway, my dad reckons that I'd eaten the whole tray of what was left of the roast potatoes that evening. I'll be honest, I was very drunk and I don't remember. Well, I do. I remember eating them, but I don't really remember eating a whole tray of them as such. But it did make nice roast potatoes. Right, anyway, I'm going to make this my last spud because I think that's plenty. Dan can pick at these later, or whoever. Just under an hour now before our live, and I don't really want to be at this for then, do I? So alright, I'm just going to clear up a little bit and give these a rinse. So I've just remembered I better turn the gas down on this. This is I had it on number 6, and although it's not as hot as you imagine a number 6 being, because our oven is kind of rubbish, it doesn't close properly, I'll pull it down to, actually I'll do 4.5. Gas mark 4.5. Right, just got to rinse me spuds off. So that's quite a big saucepan of spuds. I don't know if I can do them now, parboil them now, or will they go black and everything? I think they might be alright. Anyway, no, I won't do it now. There's no need for me to do it now. Right, and then I've got to make me dumplings. Now, I'm not keen on using a dumpling mix, but it is what I bought this week. I would prefer to make my own homemade dumplings, and my homemade dumplings are lovely. But it is what it is. Make and do. Right, let's crack on with those. Okay, I've just realised I only actually got 1 pack of dumplings. Makes 8. You need 2 packs I think, if you're going to be doing it. Let me get my other bowl. But actually, I do like big fluffy ones like that, and it's got to be crispy on top. But Dan probably would prefer smaller ones. So I've got to please him, haven't I? So we'll do smaller ones. Well, that's all I'm going to get out of this. I would definitely recommend a minimum of 2 packs. This ain't going to stretch, is it? I think I have used this once or twice before, so it's not terrible. Right, straight into a bowl, little bit of cold water at a time, and keep just doing this. A little bit like that, look. Don't be impatient and think, oh, it needs more water, it needs more water. Be patient, it will come together. But on this occasion, it does need a tiny bit. Just a table or 2 spoons. I am actually going to have to get my fingers into this. Right, I think I'm going to get my fingers in. I think it's... so I get a feel of whether it's ready or not. I know they expand and stuff, you know, but... it's just going to need a tiny bit more water, not much. Right, the thing with dumpling mix, don't overwork it, if I'm honest, and don't squeeze it all together as much as you can, sort of thing. Right, I need a plate. Just make them into tiny little balls. Right, so there we go. It said it did make 8. It's made 7 at this size. I'm going to leave a little bit of cling film on this and just leave it on the worktop. Right, wash hands. So this is how much of a kerfuffle I'm in today. I was about to boil these. I forgot to put water in them. That would have been disastrous. Right, so drop of water in there. 10 minutes parboil. And in the meantime, let me just get this lit. Yep. In the meantime, I'm going to do roasties in this and get the oil hot. Just get me up a bottle of oil. Yeah, that should be enough. I don't know. I do like quite a bit because it makes them crispy. Right, let's get this heating up in the oven. I've made room specially for this. I'm not checking on the stew yet. It's not time for the dumplings. You put the dumplings in on the last 20 minutes. Right, so that's that. I can start relaxing. For now, not for long. Oops. One thing I just want to add, when I did my last video, what was it, my morning routine, which actually a lot of you liked, so thank you for that and all your support, and you've also requested for me to do an evening one. Right, so I will get on to that, but somebody mentioned to me, why are you putting a dirty spoon back in the drawer after making a coffee? Well, I don't. I specifically have like a coffee cup and put the spoon in there. I specifically have that as a coffee spoon, is my point. You know, I wash it, of course, now and again when I'm doing the cups and stuff, but that's where the coffee spoon lives. So just clarify that up. I didn't put a dirty spoon back in my knife drawer. Oh. Potatoes are parboiled. If anything, I think they might be a little bit too done. So drain all the water off those. Get them as dry as you can. Oh yeah, no, I need the lid, don't I? There you go. So they're going to be all fluffy. Now, a tip, okay? Tip. I just buy cheapy flour for these kind of jobs. A tip. Sprinkle flour into it. Now this will make your roasties crispy, okay? But also what I do, which I like this, it's up to you, I like adding rosemary and thyme. I love rosemary and thyme roasties. But again, you don't have to. There you go, so it's looking like that at the moment. Oh, oh no! That's not thyme. That's pepper. That's pepper. And I'll tell you why it's pepper. My drawer fell out of this cupboard the other day. Oh, so I don't actually have time. Anyway, yeah, let me get back onto the story. My drawer fell out of this cupboard the other day as we were driving. The pepper went everywhere. No, I don't know what happened. But anyway, oh no, so I had to clean all the drawer out, and I thought rather than having this big tub of pepper, I'll pop it into an empty one of these. So I haven't got time, just a load of pepper. That's the pile of pepper now. Oh, never mind. It is what it is, we work with it, don't we? There's no rules for motorhome cooking or cooking. Right, so you're gonna do this to spread your stuff about, but not only that, it's gonna fluff up your potatoes. Now, if I was you, I highly recommend to under parboil them rather than over parboiling. Because if you over parboil them, they're just going to fall into nothing, right? So they look alright. Right, there we go. So they need to go into the hot fat now, which I'm hoping is going to be hot. Right, we've got about 5 minutes before this live. So that's hot fat. Let me put you down so you can watch these go in. They should sizzle and splatter. Just shut that for a minute. Little bit of a sizzle. Right, what you do want to do is to oh, you're falling. Right, let me just fix you. So what you definitely want to do is make sure that these are all covered in a bit of oil. So just flip them around a bit. And these are going to take about, the heat I've got them on should take about an hour. And they're going to crisp up lovely. Haven't had roasties in such a long time. Oh no, we did. Quite recently actually, when we kindly had a big roast dinner made for us. Roast beef it was. Actually only about a couple of weeks ago. Right, there you go. Did I do that one? Right, let's get those in the oven to get crispy. I might actually turn the heat up now. And I'll tell you why, because my oven isn't as hot as it should be, and that fat should have been a little bit more sizzly. So I'm going to turn it back straight up to number 6. So it's been over 2 hours now, just a little over 2 hours. It's looking and smelling really nice. I mean, to me, it looks like this might have worked. The roast potatoes I've had to put now on a higher shelf and just leave in for a little bit longer, let's just say 10-15 minutes longer. But yeah, they look really nice, crispy on top, just how Dan likes them. So I'm going to garnish the top of this with a little bit of fresh herb. I think I've got the wrong herbs actually, but it'll do. I've got flat leaf parsley. Chop this up. Actually, I think this will be really nice. Sprinkle some of that on top. Right, I need to remember not to touch that handle. There we go. So next time you see me will be the big dish up. Time to dish up! And we're both starving. Right, looking forward to this. To be fair, the roasties could do with a little bit longer, but can't wait. Can't wait. Right, let's start with Dan's one. Big portions, but it's looking good and smelling lovely. A little bit of that. Let's get the roasties out. It? There we go. So that's Dan's one, that's my one. The big taste test is to come. What do you think, babe?
It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Right, let me just get you another fork. Well, it's either worked or it's a disaster.
It's beautiful, Mazzy.
Really?
It reminds me of schools.
School dinner?
Yeah, but no, there was one school dinner I used to really like.
Yeah.
And they only made it like once every 3 weeks. Tastes like that. It's beautiful.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Right, it's my turn. Let me big taste test. It goes to show you don't have to have professional items to use to cook. You don't even have to have the right ingredients like I didn't have. You can cook anything in a motorhome. Right, let's go for the steak. This was
Expensive.
it could have been a mistake or That's so tender. And it's so flavoursome. The red wine, you can taste the red wine in this.
Yeah, forget that.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's nothing to do with what's in it. It's the actual taste. It's the taste. It's the flavour, Mazzy. You've got the flavour down to a T.
Thank you.
Right.
This is yummy.
Would you like to say goodbye to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Go on then. Mm-hmm. When you're ready. No rush.
Goodbye.